Welcome to Homework Lib.
Hi, so here we're given three different isotopes for magnesium. We know that the atomic mass corresponding for magnesium is going to be equal to 24.305 atomic mass units. So in order to get the percent of abundance of the different isotopes that we have, let's remember that the definition for the atomic mass is going to be the ponderated average of the atomic masses of the different isotopes. So it would be the percent of abundance of magnesium 24 times the mass of magnesium 24, which in this case would be 23.985, plus the percent of abundance corresponding for magnesium 25 times the mass for this compound, which is 24.986 atomic mass units, plus the percent of abundance of magnesium 26 multiplied by its mass. So over here we're given that the percent of abundance of the last one is going to be equal to 11.01%. So we can use this value in order to solve for the other two results. If the percentage of abundance of magnesium 26 is 11.01%, that means that 88.99% corresponds to the other two isotopes, magnesium 24 and magnesium 25. So we have that as an additional restriction in order to get our result. In this case, what we can do is replace the value of 11.01% by its decimal equivalent, which would be 0.1101. After applying this multiplication and passing to the other side, we're going to arrive to 21.4443 is going to be equal to the percent of abundance of magnesium 24 multiplied by this value plus the percent of abundance of magnesium 25 multiplied by the mass, that is 24.986 atomic mass units. So we're going to use this equation plus the auxiliary equation corresponding to the sum of the percent of abundances of the two isotopes that we have left, 25, needs to be equal to 88.99%, which in decimal corresponds to 0.8899. As you can see, we have a system of equations with two unknowns and two equations, so we can solve it by several methods. I'm going to employ the substitution method, so the percent of abundance of magnesium 24 is going to be equal to 0.8899 minus percent of abundance of magnesium 25. We're going to substitute this into our equation, and we will get that 21.4443 is equal to 0.8899 times 23.985 plus, in this case minus 23.985% of abundance of magnesium 25 plus the percent of abundance multiplied by the other mass, which is, let me put a little bit more spacing here just to make it more clear, which would be plus 24.986 times the percent of abundance of magnesium 25. As you can see here, both of the last terms are going to have in common the percent of abundance, so we can add them up together. The first term, after doing the multiplication, we're going to get 21.344, and over here we're going to get after we add these guys up, 1.001 of the percent of abundance of magnesium 25. Solving for that value, we're going to arrive to percent of abundance of magnesium 25 is equal to 21.4443 minus 21.3442 divided by 1.001, giving us 0.1, which corresponds to 10%. And finally, to know the percent of abundance of magnesium 24, we know that this is going to be 100% minus the percent of magnesium 25, that is 10%, minus the one coming from magnesium 26, which is 11.01%, which gives us 78.99%. So with that, it would be all. Thank you very much and have a good one. Just for reference, these are the percent of abundances that we need to plug in the problem.